I'm going to show you how to fix all of your copywriting and just writing in general for your marketing campaigns, your emails, your job applications, whatever you're using it for. We're going to use AI. We're going to use Claude or Cloud. I actually really should figure out the correct way to pronounce it. I'm not really sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple examples of bad real DMs that I've gotten of products that could have been totally fine, but the email copy was just so bad that there's no way the campaign could possibly succeed. So I'm going to take the actual copy from these posts and I'm going to put them in here. And I stripped the copy of the identifying information. So I'm not going to like bash anyone here publicly. But I write a lot of copy for different companies. I am currently writing copy for like 3 or 4 different ones, 2 of which are Y Combinator companies. And CEOs typically pay me a lot of money to write their copy. So I think I have at least a little bit of credibility here in saying that Cloud is actually pretty good. I think sometimes it spits out things that are better written than I can write. And again, people pay me professionally to write copy for their marketing campaigns and their product positioning. So I'm going to show you how I use Cloud and just a couple quick prompts that get there. I want to mention a couple things. You can use ChatGPT for this, but it's not nearly as good yet. GPT-4 is substantially behind Cloud in terms of writing. So I could not do this with ChatGPT alone, or maybe I could, but I think it'd be really hard for someone who's not inherently good at copywriting to do it. So that's one warning. Another warning is just that copywriting is really, really hard. And one of the hard parts about it is just finding when the copy is bad. So the first step is reading something and being able to know whether it's good or bad. And then it's even harder to be able to fix it. And as one of my current CEOs I work with will attest, I am also not like a 100% copywriter by any stretch of the imagination. So I love Cloud. When I get stuck, I use it as well. And then the final thing I'll actually mention while I'm doing it. So let's go ahead and dive in here. So let's take this LinkedIn post. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. And again, this is an actual DM I got on LinkedIn that I was just like, oh man, this is really bad. And then I use first I usually paste it in. So I'll put a quote, I'll paste in the message there. And I'm just going to put a couple spaces in there because now I'm going to give it audio instructions. So I'm using a tool called Super Whisper, which lets me transcribe my voice and just copy it anywhere. I just think it's a lot easier than writing. And then you don't have to watch me type. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this message and give it some instructions based off the message. So first sentence, I want to help you with something. That's really not very good. That doesn't really tell me anything. Kind of just sets off my spam trigger. And I should actually also mention, I think a key part of this video or a key benefit of this video is if you're a non-native English speaker. My fiance is a non-English speaker. I work with a lot of non-native English speakers. It's really hard to be good at copywriting if you're not writing in your native language. So I'm not bashing this message. It was obviously written by someone whose native language was not easy. The point of this video is for these people who have excellent products and excellent marketing campaigns. Even if English is not your native language, you can still get great copywriting from Cloud. So I should have mentioned that in the beginning. Anyway, so I can tell it's a little broken. And then it says, how are you? You should never say that because people know it's an automated message. So you shouldn't try and trick them into that it's just like a genuine friendly outreach. I hope you will not ignore my proposal. Just as an FYI, that's always like a huge trigger. Don't do any guilt tripping things ever. Like, I'm so sad you haven't responded to me. No, don't ever do any of that. And then it says, actually, but that's kind of weird because you're not like contrasting something. You're just continuing, you're introducing yourself. So there should be no actually. My name is Muhammad and I am known as a marketing person. That's another thing that just sounds weird to a native English speaker. I have been providing guest posting services for quite some time now. Okay, so all the way down here now, we finally got to the value. If you are interested, let me know. Then you will be provided with more information. That kind of sounds like a threat. And then awaiting response. And then the names in all capitals. Okay, so this is really not very good, but that's okay. We're going to fix it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start transcribing my voice. So everything you hear now will be transcribed. You can see it actually in the little, actually, I don't know if you can see the icon up there. think I'm recording that. So anyway. Oh, okay. I just canceled that. So the indicator is going to show up. This indicator you show up is my voice transcriber called Super Whisper. Superwhisper.com. I have no affiliation. It's amazing. I think I use this tool more than anything else. Below is some pretty bad copy for a LinkedIn DM that I got. I want to fix this copy. So it doesn't sound like it was written by a native English speaker. Please change it to be written by a native English speaker or sound like it was. Keep the message very concise. Don't make it longer. Make sure it's punchy and to the point. The message is promoting guest posting services. So focus on that. Try not to add any other information. Keep the offering vague. Just make it sound like it was written by a native English speaker who is a professional marketer. Ooh, I think I might regret that last one, actually. We're going to see what this does. But telling it to be a professional marketer, I'm going to change that. I think that was a really bad idea. I'm just going to delete that. I'm worried. I almost also said professional writer, but then sometimes AI is going to think I'm trying to write like a freaking Hemingway message or something. So, what just happened? Oh, there we go. LLMs. So Cloud that actually it was pretty fast. Maybe it's speeding up. Okay, so let's give this a read. Hey there, I'm Muhammad, a marketing expert specializing guest posting services. If you're interested in learning more about how I can help you grow your online presence, just let me know. Boom. That is so much better. Look at how much better that was than this original statement. It's so much better. So if I was going to do this, I would basically just take this part. Maybe look forward to chatting too. I don't really like the hey there and whatnot, but I'm going to, if I were doing a LinkedIn DM like this, I would put in that stuff manually. Right? So before I move on to the next one, I just want to pause here so that you can repeat this. What I instructed it to do was really nothing fancy. You could copy these. So it's like, I told it the copy is bad and I want to fix it. I told him it's for a LinkedIn DM. So you describe what it's for. And then I say that I want it to be written so that it sounds like a native English speaker, the irony there. And then keep it concise because it's a DM. I didn't want it to be longer. Make sure it's punchy and to the point. And then I tell what it's for, guest posting services. The original message didn't even have any more information, so I couldn't really give any information. And so I told it to keep it vague because I didn't want it to start making up guest post service stuff. It's really those 4 things. And 3 of those you can just copy for literally any prompt. Sorry, the sun's kind of on my face here. And the 4th is just going to depend on what the purpose of the message is. So super easy to copy this. You don't have to be an expert copywriter to find out what's wrong and ask it to fix it, although that is kind of helpful. Just doing those simple prompting things are going to help. But do note that the prompt I gave it is longer than the actual message. Long prompts work, and that's why that Super Whisper transcriber works so well. Okay, so let's call that a success. So I would just copy this, and then, if I were actually doing copy, maybe I would replace this with that, and then I have my copy that I can use later. Sweet. Okay. So now, gosh, this is actually making me think that all of these people are using the same AI tool, this AI copy, because I get so many messages that are bolded like this. It's so ridiculous. Okay. So let's break this down. This one's an email. Impressive beginnings, Sam. This is 100% AI written. Your journey with Startup Cookie showcases remarkable progress. This is obviously not written by a person. As head of consultant at company, I stripped out their name. They did tell me their company name. But it was all caps. I was like, why is your company name in all caps? Partnering with Jed. I left that in there because I don't know who Jed is. The person who sent this name had nothing to do with Jed. I don't know if it's a company. I don't know if it's a person. Observing companies like Outreach, Persist, and MailChimp thrive in your industry. What is my industry? We're like Startup Cookie is an agency. MailChimp is an email platform. Motivates us. What? The tales of Startup Cookie's impact echo far and wide. like the recent reviews highlighting your resilience. This is just the most bizarre email copy. Let's delve. Paul Graham's favorite, the good old AI delve giveaway. Let's delve deeper into your story with an exclusive quick chat. Oh, wow, it's exclusive. 195 plus companies. Oh, I wonder why they didn't just go with 200. Initiate our conversation using the provided link. Wishing you a fantastic week ahead. Okay. Honestly, this one was so much worse than the first one, in my opinion. They obviously just used an AI tool. So don't use these AI sales tools that claim that they're going to like personalize your email and write the great email copy, because what you're going to get is this. I am really against these AI personalizers. I get so many of these emails and they're trash. So just use Claude. Like, seriously, just go use the actual LLM. I don't want a personalized email here. Because if it's personalized, then I'm just going to know that it was auto-generated by AI. Instead, craft your pitch and then use AI to write it. But as promised, I'm going to do my best with this here. So, should I start a new one? No, I'm just going to keep this one. So again, I'm going to do my quote thing where I add it in and I paste it. It's not formatted, but that's fine. And then I'm going to do my transcription again. Below is a cold email I got. It's some of the worst cold email copy I've ever read, honestly. It's really, really bad. I'd like you to help me fix it. So it's obviously AI generated because it uses lots of bizarre phrases like impressive beginnings and uses words that real people and real native English speakers don't actually use, like delve. So don't use any of that. Also, the message doesn't really make sense. So try and make it make sense as much as possible with the information that's given here. Not really sure what they're trying to sell, but I guess just do your best with that part. It's like the worst prompt I've ever given AI. So I'm going to paste that. I got distracted. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it my usuals. So please make the message well written and sounding like it was written by an intelligent human, but make sure to keep it concise and snappy and punchy. Make sure it flows and gets right to the point. But again, really emphasize that it was written by a human and not AI, but an intelligent human. The reason I say all these things is because through iterating, I get all these, like I'll tell it to make it sound human and then it'll give me a response that's like, yo, Sam. Like, oh God, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, let's give that a whirl. I don't know. You can see this is a lot more fun too. Like it's just, I didn't have to iterate really on the last one, but usually I have to iterate a couple times. Hey Sam, I'm reaching out because I've been following your work at Startup Cookie and I have to say I'm really impressed. It's clear you've made a lot of progress and are doing great things. As head of consulting at company, I've yada, yada, yada. Great. I'd love to hop on a quick call and learn more about your story. Okay, so that's fantastic compared to the original version. It's still a really bad cold email because I still don't know what they do. But in Claude's defense, they couldn't do that for me because the original email didn't say anything about what they do. So it could only do so much with this. And there's still some things that aren't great here. Like, it's just never good to say, I've been following your journey and I'm really impressed in an automated, because they're going to know that you haven't been following their journey. They know it's an automated. So it's usually good to just get straight to the point. But this is really just focused on the writing and the copywriting. In both of these, it did a fantastic job first time. So don't use these sales tools, just use Claude. I know it costs, I forget how much it costs because you do have to use the highest one, Claude 3 Opus, that beats GPT-4. But if you're going to use GPT for writing, you'd also have to pay for GPT-4. So, I'm going to try and in the description of this video, put those kind of like quick prompting tips that I use, which is just, make it sound human, make it flow, make it make sense. I'll just kind of list a couple of these quick ones in the description and I just recommend using them in all of them. And again, I recommend using the Super Whisper. If you're a non-English speaker, you can command Super Whisper in different languages. You can prompt it in like, I don't know, Mandarin or something, and then it can give you the output in English. So also good for translations and stuff. So it's turned out to be a bit longer than I thought, but I genuinely think this can fix all of the marketing campaigns of all these hyper intelligent people out here that are just using really, really bad copy in their campaigns.